Yeah, really happy with the result. Performance wasn't outstanding, but it was good enough to, get the points, and I think we deserve that.
Now you're back in top 6. Do you feel like you can stay there and keep on?
That's the plan. That's what we work towards. But like we always say, it's one game at a time. It puts us in a great position. When I say great position, puts us in a better position, not a great position. But yeah, still a lot of games ahead of us, and it's important that you turn up every week in this competition and do a job. And the most important thing for us tonight was, our away form hasn't been outstanding, something we've been addressing and wanted to work on and improve. And that's probably more important today than the performance, the way that we can get the points away from home, which was really timely.
Obviously, the international struggle as well coming here. Was there anything different you did to try get in the way?
No, not really. Our preparation hasn't been a problem. It's just, I think it's more a mentality thing, and knowing that as a team we love playing at home. We know that we've got amazing fans, but when you go away, we still need the same pressure put on ourselves that we would have if we had a full stadium at Amy, and that's on us to just make sure, from a mentality point of view, we stick together, we stay concentrated and switched on, and because we know when we play football, we're a very dangerous team, but we've got to also know that when it's not our day, still be able to come away with results. Yeah, it's always nice to score first. You always want that. It doesn't always happen. But not just scoring first, then we concede and then scored again before half-time. That, for me, was probably the game changer, because it puts momentum back in our favour and gives us a good advantage going into half-time. And the response was outstanding for me, to be able to score so quickly after conceding. So that for me, was probably the highlight of the match.
And with the penalty that was overturned, did you immediately think it wasn't a penalty, or did you have some view as that played out?
I don't think anything, to be honest with you. Now, with any decisions like that, whatever will be. We have no control over that. We've been on the end of some harsh calls. In the end, they've seen it, they've given it for what it is, and in the end, it's a positive outcome for us. But yes, it is what it is.
Yeah, Charles had a nice touch leading up to a lot of goals. So how do you think you sort of settled into the team, and what did you make?
Yeah, I thought Charles was excellent tonight. He's had a chance in the first half where it's probably outstanding defending from the player sliding in and blocking that we put him through one-on-one. But they're a very physical defensive line. And Charles was excellent against them. He matched their physicality. He competed really well. He worked really hard for the team. He was always in a great position. And the only thing that let him down tonight was not getting a goal. Everything else, for me, I think he's had a great game, and he's only going to get better and better. And I'm really pleased for him to be able to get through the minutes that he's got through as well, because in the end, we've tried to manage him as best as we can to get him ready and up to scratch with not only our football, but his fitness and the match fitness as well. So, yeah, really happy for Charles.
On Charles, the little hand of God moment, is that something you can look back now and laugh that they got the 3 points?
I even laughed at the time. So he's a character. Charles is a character, so that stuff doesn't really surprise me. And we haven't known him a long time, but the short time we have known him, he's definitely a character, and he's got presence in the group. So that's part of the game, I suppose, and it's him just being who he is.
And as well as the other changes that you made, did they have the effect that you wanted tonight?
Yeah, we freshened up the team tonight. We made quite a few changes to the starting lineup, and we had a really short turnaround with back-to-back travel, and we had to be mindful of making sure we put a team out there that's fresh enough to compete, because we know it's always a difficult match here. And I think all the players that came in did really well, and in the end, everyone's contributed to a fantastic result.
And the consistency is obviously something that maybe lacked a little bit. What's the message now to make sure that this win, starts a string of wins?
We just got to keep going. We've got to keep going, and that's it's not just us, it's across the league, this consistency situation. So that shows the quality of the league this year and the evenness of the league. It's a very even league, and that's why you have to be up for it every match, and we're no different to anybody else. We want to be more consistent, absolutely, and starting today, we want it to be better away from home, and that's important. That helps us be consistent, because you're not always going to play at home, and you got to be able to do what you do at home away from home as well.
And you talked about how close the league is. Everyone's still up for grabs, even though you're just at the back of the 6 now. Do you still feel like there's no real ceiling? How high does 10 can go?
We're always looking at the top. We know we're not too far away, and that's our drive, that's our motivation, that's where we look at. And in the end, we're not too far away, So we've got to keep working hard because we're not there. So we've got to do everything we can to keep closing that gap and making sure along the way we keep doing it our way, playing the football that we want to play. And and in the end, when you can't have the perfect game, also know that you can still get a result. And that probably sums up tonight.
How's Jack after that? Did he
Yeah, so far he's okay. It'll be probably more telling in the morning when he wakes up, but it's probably more his shoulder than his head. So, he wasn't concussed, so he was fine from that regard. So it's maybe just his shoulder and his neck. And like I said, we'll know probably more tomorrow once he goes to bed and wakes up, and he'll probably then feel the full impact of that collision. But, in the end, it's their striker going for the ball. I would expect my striker to do the same thing. It wasn't anything malicious. It was part of the game, and it's just contact that happens.